Hey there, my friends. Greetings. Just an inspired message here that came across that I've practiced, on my own. That has really worked out quite well. And it's really the practice of surrendering to how you expect things to play out and how things to unravel, as you're going through this life. And certainly through times of change, you know, there's times when you're doing something and you expect a certain result, a certain outcome, and that's certainly good. You can use that. That's that's a even plain type of way to go about things, and to expect, all right, it's going to happen this way at this time, on this day, on this hour, right? But that's not always the case. Life has its own way of making things happen, as I see 5:55 on the clock. So the point I'm trying to make is that there is a written plan out for you. Now, you can use your logic, you can use your mind to try and force something to happen a certain way. And that may work out, that may eventually, get yourself to where you want to be as far as money and currency and materialistic things that you have. So yeah, you can go about things with a certain idea and perspective and expectation. So yeah, while you can have this exact expectation of how things are certain to go, it's not always the case, right? God, the universe source, has a plan for you, and it may not be what you've been raised to believe in. You may not be raised to do a corporate job. You may not be raised to work. You may not in the end have a family and wife and kids and all these things. But if it's meant to be, it'll certainly happen for you. So just doing anything without an expectation of how it's supposed to play out, you know what I'm saying? So there can be a sort of resistance as opposed to the flow, right? Like picture of it like a river, right? The river's has no idea where it's going. It doesn't know its destination. It's just going because it's propelled to, right? So if you can sit there and just be okay with not knowing, not expecting how something is going to play out, and if you can sit there and just be okay with the outcome and know that you're taken care of at all times, it really is a peaceful, calming feeling on the inside in your heart, and it takes away that stress of trying to gather things to make something happen. If you could just sit in that space of knowing you're going to be okay, knowing you're taken care of, knowing life has your back, then you're able to really breathe in and exhale anything that's not for you. And yeah, ultimately it's a deep level of trust, faith, belief, knowing, you kind of get the picture. And all of these concepts really drive home what the universe, what the world, what your life is trying to give to you, right? What your own higher self, what your soul is trying to give you. It wants you to succeed. You deserve to succeed. It is your birthright to succeed, to be happy, to be joyful, to be in peace, to be surrounded by love, to be love. That is your sole purpose out here, really, to enjoy this life, to raise your vibration, to raise your frequency, to raise your energy in the most that aligns with your soul, with your own purpose. And that's really what it's trying to give you without even trying. Because when we're stuck in the space of how things are supposed to be, that's our mind thinking about everything we've endured, everything we've gone through in the past. We're associating that, our past experiences, with somewhat of how we should handle ourselves presently. and how we expect things to turn out in the future. So we get caught in that loop of our mind thinking that it has to go this certain way. That's the ego, that's the mind. But when I'm saying to get out of the way, that's the soul. That is the higher power trying to come across and say, it's okay, you don't have to do nothing, it's cool. Stay calm, stay collected. Now, I'm hoping this message hit home for at least one person. That's all it takes for me to truly be happy. And I'm hoping I make a difference for you. If you appreciate this, please let me know. Please give me some feedback. I'm happy to do more of this and help you guys out, all right? Lots of love. Thank you.